on and have a seat. Make yourself comfortable, okay? Okay. So first off, can I just have you confirm your name for me? Perfect, okay. So first off, I just wanted to say thank you for donating your time today to participate in our research study. We will be compensating you for your time, don't worry, okay? So, on your way out of here today, you'll want to stop by the desk where you checked in, and they will provide you with a check to pay you for the time that you gave us. Today's study is looking at different types of glove material that could potentially give us better diagnostic abilities, help us have more of a effective tactile exam, but we also in the process want to make sure that our patients are comfortable with the materials that we use, because even if something is proving to be, a good diagnostic instrument for us, if our patients are uncomfortable or being caused distress, it's not going to work long term. So that's why we're doing it. So really quickly though, I just need to know, do you have any kind of allergies to any sorts of materials like latex or silicone? Not that you know of. Okay. Then we are clear to proceed. Okay, so we're going to be using 5 different types today. Do you need anything before we get started? A glass of water, to pop over to the restroom or anything? Okay. Do you have any questions before we get started? Okay, so this exam, I'm going to do my best to be as efficient as possible. But that being said, I also need to be pretty detailed, so it should take about 30 to 45 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it on the shorter end for you, but certain glove materials also make hands kind of sweaty, and so I might need to wait a few minutes between glove types to let my hands dry to move on to the next, because if I'm too early and not able to pull the glove on all the way, an ill-fitting glove might negatively affect the results today. But, okay, good. So I'm going to be performing an exam on you with each set of gloves. It's not going to be anything invasive, okay? I'm just going to be examining the skin on your face and your ears, which are 2 pretty sensitive areas, and it's going to be a bit repetitive, but this will help me really understand what may be the best materials diagnostically for us, while providing the best tactile comfort for you. So try to bear with me. Hopefully it doesn't get too boring. Hopefully it's kind of relaxing for you. I'm going to start with our standard gloves. These are the nitrile examination gloves that we have been using. I'm going to begin. Are you okay with me touching you? Okay, thank you. your ears, okay? That was our first set. So just a moment. Okay. If you were to rate the texture of those gloves on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like extremely abrasive and uncomfortable, and 10 being fine, very comfortable, pleasant even, how would you rate those? Okay. All right. Okay. Going to move on to our next glove type. So these gloves are also nitrile, and I don't really expect them to have too high of a rating because they do have these little like bumps on them. Oh, I have food coloring in my fingernails, sorry. I've been trying to soak them out. I've washed my hands in baking soda. I've done everything short of washing them in bleach. It was my son's birthday and I made him a cake, and now my fingers are orange. But anyway, as I was saying, it does have these little bumps that may be uncomfortable, so I'm not really sure about these ones, but management wants us to test them anyway. If these are very uncomfortable, let me know, okay? I can cut these short. But right off the bat, just the ridges are making me a little bit dubious. It's okay. I'm gonna do my best to be as gentle as possible. So. that was the heavy duty nitrile. Okay, so again, on that scale of 1 to 10, 1 being extremely abrasive, very uncomfortable, and 10 again being very comfortable, pleasant, how would you rate these? A 3. Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling they weren't great. Okay. So it looks like next on our list we have vinyl. And that one tore. Not a strong start. Okay. Another thing that would be helpful feedback is like some gloves can be kind of squeaky, so if there is any kind of sound they make that is causing you some kind of like sensory overload or discomfort, that's also really helpful information, okay? Okay. So I'm gonna start with these ones now, okay? So So that was the final. And I will say on my end, I definitely had the most sensitivity. It almost felt like I wasn't wearing gloves. How did they feel for you? Okay, 7 out of 10. That's good. Okay. So now we are moving on to the latex. And this material is the one that is the most concerning for potential allergy. So if you start feeling any kind of skin irritation or burning, please let me know right away. It's important for the efficacy of this study to know that any discomfort is because of the materials, not because of a potential intolerance or allergy. Okay. So now I'm going to start with latex, okay? Any discomfort or burning so far? Okay. Trying to make sure that I don't see any kind of redness developing. So that was the latex. And I am allergic to latex, so that's actually making me a bit itchy. But my study is not just for me, so it's helpful for other physicians as well. So, okay, in terms of comfort, how would you rank those? Yeah, they do make some more noise. The next pair really does. So 5, okay. Oh, I'll be okay. I am exposed to it all the time. If I just take an antihistamine, I'll be a little sleepy, but I'll be able to continue. If it gets too bad, I will swap out with someone. Okay. These gloves may be familiar if you've ever dyed your hair at home. And I'm not expecting these to have a high rating. These are more like a control with each person that we're having participate in our study. These fall in different order. Sometimes they're first, but in your case they are last. So okay. Hopefully these aren't too irritating. think that's enough of these. All right, so I can kind of guess, how would you rate that pair? I think that's being generous. Okay, so of the 5 glove materials that we used today, you rated vinyl as the highest. Would you say that was your favorite? Okay, and the plastic were the least favorite? Shocking. Okay, let me just write up a couple of quick notes, okay? And then we'll get you going here. Okay. So we are all set here. Thank you for being patient with me while I was writing up my notes. It's always helpful to do it with our study participants still present, so that way if I need to ask questions, you're here for reference, but I didn't need to this time. But we are all done here. I want to thank you on behalf of the entire Cozy Hospital for your participation today. We know that your time is limited, and we very much appreciate it that you gave some of that to us. I think I said before, but just in case, on your way out, you'll want to stop at the desk where you checked in on your way in, and the receptionist sitting behind the desk will provide you with an envelope that will contain a check that will pay you for the time that you spent here today. There's also a sign-up sheet for if you would like to participate in any future studies, and on that sheet it should say how much each of those studies will pay as well. Okay? Okay. Do you have any questions or anything I can do for you before you step out? Okay. Well, again, thank you very much, and maybe we'll see you again soon.